My name is Maria Thacker, Communications Chair for the Coalition for State Bioscience Institutes, also known as CSBI. Today I have with me Liisa Bozinovic, Chair for CSBI, and Lindburg, Co-Chair of the Workforce Development Program within CSBI. Today we are discussing the 2018 CSBI Workforce Trends Report that was rolled out this week at the 2018 Bio International Convention. So Lori, tell me a little bit about why CSBI exists and why we do this report.
Sure. We created CSBI back in 2012 as a nationwide organization of life science industries and associations who wanted to coordinate and develop industry-led best practices in the area of STEM education, workforce development, and entrepreneurship. One of the first things we did was to develop the CSBI Workforce Trends Report. And we did this because finding the right talent to build and grow their companies is and continues to be a leading concern of life science executives. It's also a concern of major stakeholders such as academic institutions and legislators who want to ensure that the talent pipeline for this dynamic industry remains strong. Some of the states were collecting this information in their own states, but no one was doing it nationally. We couldn't get an actual picture nationwide. The other thing is many of us were forced to rely on two-year-old labor market data, which for an industry that is undergoing as much change and flux as the life sciences didn't really help us much. So in 2013, we made the effort to do the report and collect real-time data. All of our data is collected within the last 6 months to 12 months and really is enabling us to get a picture of what the real workforce needs are of the life science industry nationwide.
That's great, thank you. So Liisa, can you tell us a little bit about some of the trends that came out of the report this year?
Sure. As Lori mentioned, this is real-time, in-demand data collected from 135 executive interviews, over 350 survey responses from hiring managers and HR managers, as well as the job postings from, and that's for the first quarter of 2018, as well as 50,000 job postings from 2017. So some of the key trends are around growth. When we look at the job postings between 2018 and 2017, so an 8-year period, all but 1 year experienced growth in the technical job positions. So the report identifies that the top positions through those job postings in 2017 are medical scientists, laboratory technicians, and chemists. And also when you look at the regulatory positions and you add up the different categories, they top the list as well. So we also asked our hiring managers what their plans are over the next 12 months, and 86% of the respondents said that they're planning to hire in the areas of quality, product and process management, and research and development.
Wow, those are some really outstanding findings. Lori, I understand there were a number of key trends found within the results of the report. So can you tell us about that?
Sure. Yes. In our interviews with life science executives, we distilled 5 major themes that are impacting their talent needs. One of the things we found every year in the report, not surprisingly, is that the rapid technological advances in the industry, as well as global competition and changes in the regulatory environment, are having a significant impact in talent needs. We're seeing an explosion of technological advances in areas such as CRISPR gene editing, CAR T-cell therapy, and fields such as computational biology, which are creating the need for expertise in a range of cutting-edge technologies, such as artificial intelligence, data analytics, CAD design, next gene sequencing, and more. At the same time, the ongoing changes in the regulatory environment and the changes in the U.S. healthcare system are creating demand for individuals who can really navigate the complexities of the regulatory environment and reimbursement.
Wow, interesting. Some really great information. So, Liisa, did you see any different trends in different regions across the country?
We did. With respect to the emerging clusters versus the more well-established clusters, we noticed that the executives told us in the emerging clusters, for instance, that they're having a really hard time finding local talent. They're looking for talent in other states, they're looking abroad, and they're hoping that once there's an anchor company or two that come into their region, that they'll have more talent pool to draw from.
Wow.
The challenge on the other side, where the more established clusters are, like California, is really there's a lot of talent there, right? But the infrastructure and affordability challenges make it hard to attract and retain that talent.
If I could add another regional difference that we're seeing, but we expect we'll see in other areas as tech begins to take hold, is the overlap and convergence of the tech and life science industries. So what this is doing is creating both demand for new skills, particularly as life science services, operations, and products have technology added to them, but also a competition for talent. Yeah. What we're finding is that it's a lot easier for tech companies to recruit life science employees than for life science employers to recruit tech. That has a bit to do, I think, with the long product development cycles, working in a regulated environment with a low risk tolerance. So hence the competition.
So Lisa, are some employees finding some positions harder to fill than others?
They are. In terms of the jobs, it's the regulatory, it's R&D, and it's the quality that are hardest to fill. And aside from that, we heard from our executives that diversity is a real issue, and in terms of women competing for those senior executive roles, the companies are there's a lot of competition for companies to attract women into those roles, so it's harder and harder to fill them.
Oh, okay. Lori, can you expand on that at all?
Yeah, diversity was an important part of the discussions that we had with executives across the country, and what we're really finding is that there are, not surprisingly perhaps, diverse approaches to diversity. Most life science employers, not all, but most really do recognize the importance of diversity and of having diverse views around the table as they innovate and engage with global and discrete markets. So some companies have formal diversity initiatives. Others say it's happening organically just by virtue of hiring the best talent. In some of the emerging sectors where those local talent pools are more limited, some employers are saying that diversity is really a luxury that they can't afford. Others in those regions say that diversity is happening because they're being forced actually to hire international talent because they don't have enough local labor talent.
Wow. So the report gave us a lot of great information, but what are the companies doing to address these workforce needs, Lisa?
Yeah, so aside from the H-1B visa employees and contract workers, employers are really looking to help develop the future talent in their local areas. And what they're finding year over year really is that the four-year schools and the graduate programs are not providing enough industry relevant experience to the students, so they're coming out unprepared. And what the companies and industry are starting to do is really develop these collaborative partnerships with the academic institutions and offering things like internships and co-ops and project-based learning that have real-world applications to the students. So those are some of the things.
And one of our goals at CSBI is to both highlight and help industry adopt more of these partnership roles with academics, institutions of all levels, so that they are really proactively co-developing talent and ensuring that we have a strong talent pipeline for the industry.
Well, thank you, Lisa. Lori, some great information a lot of our companies could use. I encourage everyone to visit our website. It's csbioinstitutes.org, where you can download the 2018 Workforce Trends Report that the organization put out. And if you have any questions, you can find our information online, and we look forward to you using this data to really make an impact in the workforce for this sector.